Welcome back. This week I've got footage of Alejandro and Jonah as they're competing at the national level in collision repair and motorcycle technology. But before I get to that, some of you may be wondering the status of the Yukon. Well, after the seniors had graduated and there was no one here left to finish it up, we had it running, but it was running kind of poorly. So I did a little bit of diagnostics on it, found that there was an open ground. And after I got the ground hooked up, vehicle runs great. Setting the panel up before Alejandro began the repair. Here he's making a couple of plastic bumper repairs. Here he's looking at the instructions before making a structural repair.
I'm contestant 1940, and today I'm going to be rebuilding the front forks on my 1994 Kawasaki ZG1000 Concourse. So the first step is to loosen this adjuster bolt. As you can see, there's little grooves in here, and it is set to the third groove, so we're going to remember that for assembly, and we're going to put it back to the way it was. Next, we're going to take off our top nut. Next, our spring will come out. We will have to remember which orientation the spring is in. Next, we're going to drain the oil through our drain pan. Next, we're going to get our dampener rod holding tool right here. We're going to insert it in here to hold our dampening rod while we loosen it with a 3/8 impact. Remove our holding tool. Next, with a flathead screwdriver, we are going to gently, without marring the surface, remove our dust seal. Just comes right up. And also our retention ring. Okay. Yep. End of our dampening rod, as well as our damper rod and spring. We're going to go ahead and remove our bushing, seal, and washer. We are also going to remove our final bottom bushing by just spreading it apart with our fingers and bringing it up and over. As you can see, we have some V-blocks and a dial indicator setup. We're going to measure 3 different parts of the fork. What we're looking for in our dial indicator is deflection of the needle. So that's zeroed out. Just lightly going to move it with our hands. It's not too bad. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Zero that again. Check deflection. Now that our fork is within specifications of 4/1000ths of an inch, we're going to go back to the table for reassembly. Now we're going to reassemble the fork by getting damper rod and its spring together. First, we're going to put our new bottom bushing in. Spreading it apart with our fingers again and putting it over, just like that. We're going to get our damper rod and put it in through the tube. So that's a little tricky to get through. And put the bottom portion of it in. We're going to get the bottom portion of the tube and slide it in. Bottoms up. And again, we're going to get our dampener rod holding tool. Put it in. Until it's tight. Torque specification is 29 foot-pounds. Holding our other ratchet, go ahead and tighten it. Alright, check it one more time. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put our bottom bushing in, our new bottom bushing, as well as put in our new seal. Let's go ahead and insert that. Now we're going to use our specialty tool and hammer down. Going to get our new snap ring, put it in. Alright, and now we're going to get our new dust seal, put it in. And again, with the same specialty tool, we're going to do the same hammering motion. Alright, now that that is seated, the next step is to pour in our new oil. We're going to get our measuring tool. Is what this is. It is set to 171 millimeters from the top of the fork as it's fully compressed. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take out any extra fluid that might still be in there. You can see fluid's coming out. Alright. The next thing is to insert the spring just the way it was. Now we're going to put our top cap back on. Now it is much safer to torque it on the bike with the triple clamp holding it. So we are going to wait to do that, but the torque specification for this bike is 16.5 foot-pounds. But what we will do is we will go ahead and readjust the top to the third setting. There it is. And that is how you rebuild a fork. Hi, I'm contestant number 1940, and today I'm going to be doing a front brake service on this 2006 Suzuki Boulevard M50.
Here Jonah is setting up the vacuum bleeder so he can evacuate the system before pulling it apart.
Next I'm going to be removing the cap to the master cylinder. And I've got a rag over here to protect it in case any fluid decides to come out. Now we're going to bleed the brake system of all of this fluid. Once you hear a little bit of a kind of a gurgling sound in the master cylinder, that's when you know that all of the fluid has been evacuated. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the caliper off to check our brake pads. And now to take the brake pads out, you just need to remove this little pin right over here. The pin right here should just come sliding right out. We can remove our brake pads. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check the thickness of the brake pads using our caliper. Alright, so the thickness of this pad we are looking at 4.21 millimeters. And then we're going to check our other pads the same exact way. This is just at 4.2 millimeters. Now we have checked the thickness of our pads, we're going to reinstall them. And our specification is 4.5 millimeters, so we're going to recommend to our customer that these pads should be replaced. Now that our pads are in and our pin is reinstalled, we're going to reinstall our brake caliper. Just going to snug these up, and our torque specification is going to be 28 pound-feet. And now we're going to be refilling our brake system with brake fluid and bleeding it. Alright, it looks like that all the air has been bled out of the system. Now our drain bolt specification is 72 inch-pounds of torque. Check it once more. Okay, make sure to always set your torque wrench down. Okay, now we want to make sure we fill up the master cylinder full of fluid to its correct level. Reinstall our master cylinder cap. And now our torque spec for these screws is 12 inch-pound or 1 foot-pound. Check it once more. Okay. Okay. And that is the front brake service on this 2006 Suzuki Boulevard.
Next time on Bulldog Builds, hopefully I'll have good news to share from the results of the national competitions. We'll get back to work on that 48 Chevy engine to get it prepared to go in the frame. And hopefully I'll get back on that Rome grader soon, get it going and ready to take it to some shows this summer. See you next week.